as were key takeouts.
Yeah, key takeouts. I thought it was a really good hit out this time of year for an internal, really competitive. We played like for like on one another a fair bit. Probably the midfield were a younger mid against more experienced mid, but the younger mids were exceptional today. They hit him pretty hard and certainly didn't give the older, more experienced mids anything on their terms.
Obviously, a team on the rebuild. How many spots are up for grabs?
Well, we actually... I'll keep going. There we go. How many up for grabs? Look, it's at this stage. You probably you can pencil in 15, 16 names more than likely. But then when you go to the last 6, 7, 8 names, there may well be, or 6, 7, 8 spots, there may well be 16 names. So we've been really impressed with the younger players that we've got to come in, the players we've recruited from other clubs. And there's been some really strong development from underneath over the last 12 months. So if the older fellas want to put their name up and play round one, they've got to make sure they're playing pretty good footy.
Is this how you want it to look in terms of the game plan? Is everyone picking it up?
Well, it's a bit hard when you play internals. You got one game plan, the same game plan against the other one. In terms of our education prior to today, what we're doing out on the track, I think they're on the same page at this point in time, but we really need to play other teams and get different looks, because the thing with defending in an internal is you know really what the opposition are going to do. So it's going to be good to get Port over the next couple of weeks.
For someone who's not in the building, just watching from the outer, Adelaide and Barry in particular, what guys who built ready to play round one. I mean, is that pretty close to the truth?
Yeah, it is. I think that draft from last year, the first 4 out of the first 5, if you include the 2 mids that you mentioned, and Riley and little Rowie as well. And Rowie's played senior footy, but they're all built to play round one if they're fit enough and if they're playing good enough football. We've been really impressed, but at the same time they're competing against like Haitley, Keys, Sloan, Laddie, all those boys as well. Schoenberg, a year older, he's a year ahead. Even Miller today showed some really good signs on ball and forward, so it's competitive.
On the field, thought it looked like he was playing a little bit of wing towards the end. I mean, can you, give us an insight into what kind of role you're playing with him at the moment and where you see him fitting in?
He's recruited to be more of a key forward, and that's where he'll play. I'm not sure if that was just a little bit of rotation, just to get him out there quickly when I think someone might have gone down with a bit of a corky. He went back out there to go to a wing, but as you saw today, the things that he does do, he's very talented, but he's still in his infancy. Didn't play that many games last year, and he needs to learn a lot, but he's going very well at this point in time.
And Jackson Haitley looks like he's pretty comfortable with things out there as well.
Yeah, you've got to be a pretty good player to get in that Giants team over the last couple of years, and that's what he has done. He's got a few games there, again, in a really good midfield with all the players that they've had up there playing. But he's the good thing for us. He's 191, and he's a big, strong body, which is something we don't actually have. When you look at Laddie and Crouchy and Sloaney, they're all 5'10" to maybe 6 foot, just over 6 foot. So just giving us that extra midfielder there that's 6'2", pushing 6'3", he can certainly hit in and compete against the bigger mids in the competition.
Probably the only disappointing part of the day, D-Mac going out with concussion. I mean, how worried is that for you guys?
I haven't got any feedback yet to how bad it was, but it's disappointing because especially when you've come to the club just lately over the last 2 to 3 months, I've been really impressed with the way he's going about it. He's not going to give up his spot. If a young fella has to get past him, he's going to have to be playing pretty good football. So it was really disappointing for him because he's actually in terrific nick. And I think the automatic thing is, whether it's 12 or 14 days now, I'm not sure, when you get a bit of concussion. So he'll definitely miss next week, and then we'll have to wait and see what happens the week after.
How do you see the battle for spots up forward? Obviously, Bill throwing his hand up today after a big performance.
Yeah, Billy, Fogg, Tex, Himmelberg was very good last year as well. When we mentioned Riley. So there's going to be competition for spots. At this stage, we're probably a little bit like everyone else. We're waiting to see 1 or 2 to really jump out and take a key position. I thought Tex moved really well early today. I thought he was probably the better forward. But like I said, we've got 2 games now against another AFL team where we can really see where some of these forwards are at.
We asked this at Rails the other day, but how many tools can you play up there?
If they're really mobile, you could probably play 6. But no, I mean, on the flip side too, we've got Rowie who's going really well, Murphy's going well, McAdam obviously he's come on leaps and bounds last year. Give him absolutely every opportunity to keep playing because I'm not sure where he'll get to, but he certainly shows a huge amount of ability and talent, and is important for our team. So it's not just the key tools. And then we've had Schoenberg play as that high half forward, who's, he played pretty good last half today, especially out here, and played some pretty good football probably the last 10 or 12 weeks last year as well. So it's not just the tools, the small positions are up for grabs as well.
Andy McPherson played on Shane McAdam today. What do you think of that matchup and Andy's game as a whole?
Yeah, I've been, I think watching the vision when I first decided to come to Adelaide, and that was all done and dusted. You get the games from last year and have a look through them, and his first 8 or 9 games looked, and we say this all the time, but just looked AFL. And today he was at ease, very good defending 1v1, but he's got a very good ability of when to come off his opponent and impact or intercept the ball. So I thought he was probably one of the better defenders today.
And Chase Jones was a bit more on the outside today compared to last year. What do you make of Chase today? Yeah,
Chase on the wing. He's been playing that role really well here at training and in match sims. But in this internal today, I thought once again he just did a couple of things with power and speed, hit through the ball well, used the ball well. So we're really hoping it's really up to Chase. It's the opportunity's there, but we've been as a collective, as a coaching group, really happy and pleased with the way he's coming along this pre-season.
How much of Miller do you expect to see down back this year?
That's a good question, because there's been some debates with the defensive coach and the rest of the coaching group. But no, we're having a look at him forward and mid at this point in time. We've got some really strong little mids in and around the ball. They're really desperate, but at times it's nice to have a little bit of quality there as well, and we certainly think he gives us that.
I was just about to ask you about the Miller Kelly stoush at the end there. What do the coaches make of that?
Stoush?
Oh, there was a push and shove at the end there. They went straight up to each other afterwards and shook hands. I just wondered, is that something you guys enjoy seeing?
That's not a stoush. That's a little bit of a push. No, it's good. That's what I said. I thought it was played in really good spirits. And it's a really tight group here. What you want is competitive players, and those two are definitely competitive.
Who's most impressive for you? Not necessarily best on. You've got guys like Lairdy and Crouch who are always going to be pretty impressive. But is there anyone today who kind of exceeded the expectations that perhaps you already had for?
I don't think anyone exceeded, because I think what we saw today is what we've been seeing all pre-season. Like I said, we're in a stage where we know we've got the senior players. We need to keep them hungry, but at the same time, there's some really talented and desperate youth, competitive youth underneath. And I thought they all showed signs without really singling anyone out.